Hello, hello. Lovely of you to join me because I know many of you are anxiously waiting. Let me just say that straight away. The workshop for John Next Door with me goes on sale at 6:30. You have got half an hour. Um, and it is going to be a quick one to show you. I just wanted to go over how I did this square one because I got carried away with it and I just wanted to show you that. So there's that to look forward to. But also, as I said, over on the maximumcrafts.com website, we've got all the details. I will be going through them as I'm working this evening, but it doesn't go on live until 6:30. So there you go. Okay, I hope it doesn't crash either. Right, so you may recall on Sunday, I used the Julie Hickey Happy Birthday background die to do my background here, but also the Woodware Anemone bloom or something. I can't remember what it's called now. I could look, couldn't I? No, just an enemy. This one. We used that one, and many of you are getting them dropping through your door today, so that's great. And then I went on to do the square version because I did the rectangular version. And as I didn't have actually chance to show you doing that, I thought that I would mix it around a bit and I will show you how I did the layers for this. But also, you may recall I said, if you're no good at colouring, you don't want to do colouring, why not try it a completely different way? So subsequently, that is what we're going to do. So I'm going to put that to one side. And I thought today we're really going to be using all sorts of things that we have possibly already got in our stash, or in the case of the flower, about to get in our stash. And you may recall back before Christmas, this was Frosted Essentials, which a paper pad, which we used. And a lot of people bought them as well because we use them in a kit, I think. And a lot of people bought extra, but there will have been some that you wouldn't have used. So subsequently, we used, what did we use? We used the gingham and the check, but in our pack also you have some spotted and some striped. And I thought, well, I have to say, striped I'm not likely to use very much. And spotted, yeah, I like it. But don't forget that on the other side of this particular one, you have got a coordinating coloured sheet. So I thought we would go with these colours today, which sort of look a bit odd. We're going to do a 7x7, so I'm going to do a smaller card. So what I've got is I've picked the pale pink in the spotted, just about see that that's a pale pink on the other side. Then to give us a bit of a oomph, I've gone for the striped one, which is in a slightly darker pink, but I'm going to be using the pink side, not the striped. And then I've gone for one of the green spotted, but I'm going to be using the green side. Now I have to say the colours aren't looking as good as they are here in real life, and I'm hoping the photo that I take afterwards will show you just how nice it is. So what should we do first? Shall we do some cutting first? Yeah, let's do some cutting first. So I'm going to go and start off with my pale pink. Okay, hold on, let's put that out of the way. And my card blank for this one was an 8x8, but I'm going to do a smaller one. I'm going to go for a 7x7 card blank here today. So I'm going to start off with my first layer of being 11 centimetres by 11 centimetres. So I'm just going to, that's my starting point, okay? So that is my base layer in the spotted, 11 centimetres squared. Then I'm going to take one of my green pieces, and as I said, spotted on the other side, but I don't want spotted. I don't think we could put spotted with spotted, but the green is a really pretty green. So I'm going to go 1/2 centimetre bigger all the way round. So this one is going to be 11.5 by 11.5. Oops. So that brings me to a little bit like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go with a pink one. Like this. And I'm going to go 0.5 centimetre again, and that one therefore will be 12 centimetres by 12 centimetres. So I've got plenty of I've got plenty of paper for it. So that's how my little package is going to go, like that. Okay, so let's take these pieces away. Then I'm going to bring in another colour, another pink piece here, pink dotted piece, and I'm going to go for this one 2.5 centimetres more than the last number that I did. So the last number was 12 by 12, and I want to do 2.5 centimetres more. So that makes it 14.5 centimetres across. Okay, so 14.5 centimetres for this piece. Then I'm going to take my green again, and that piece will be 15, so 0.5 centimetre more, just when you didn't think you had to count anything. And then finally we'll go with the pink one again, and that piece will be 15.5 centimetres. So that when we put that onto our 7 by 7 card, although let's face it, the 7 by 7 cards are generally more like 6 3/4. I'm going to keep hold of a piece of that because I want that in a minute. Then you've got plenty of room. Okay, so there are all my layers. I put them down onto the card here. You can hopefully see, whoops, how this is going to go, like that. Okay, so what are we going to put in the middle of it? Right, okay, so you may recall that I said to you with the stamp that if you were no good at colouring or didn't fancy colouring, that you could always stamp this onto a piece of card or paper and you wouldn't have to colour it at all. So, going to take a piece of my pink card. I could use the scrap, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to use another piece of my pink card. I'm going to ink up my flower, my anemone again, and I'm using VersaFine Morning Mist again, the greyish one. Okay, so we've got that pretty flower already on there, and then I'm going to take a piece of the green, which I don't think I've put out. So a piece of the green, and I'm going to stamp it again. So I'm using all, well, I would say scrap, but it's hardly scrap, is it? I'm using all papers that I've already got. You may well have in your stash. I'm using the stamp that I got at the weekend. And I'm not using particularly any major skill, if you see what I mean, because all I'm doing is going to cut it out, really, which will give me a chance to have a natter to you whilst I do it. So there's my two images stamped onto the same colour pinks that I've already brought in the card, and I'm going to trim them out. So the green one first, I'm going to have to trim the whole of that one out because we need the leaves. So that's where we're going with that. But this one, you don't need everything, you just need the flower itself. So whilst I'm trimming this out, let me tell you all about the workshops. So if you haven't been to one of the workshops that I do before now, well, I don't know why not, but it doesn't matter where you are in the world. We can get all of the equipment to you, and it is run over the app that's called Zoom. Many of you may be familiar with that now because since COVID started, it's much more a familiar thing for people. But basically, it's done over the internet. And the beauty of it is that, unlike with YouTube or Facebook, where you hear, well, I was going to say me prattling on. Of course, I don't do such a thing. But you hear me or the person that's taking the course, but you cannot interact apart from typing. And the good thing about Zoom is you can interact, you can talk to John or whoever's taking the workshop. You can see him, he can see you, or not. You don't have to if you don't want to. And we also do another video of it all. So if you can't make it, or if you just want to watch on the day and then take part in it later, everybody that comes receives a clear, short, compared to, we don't just tape the session, it gets a proper video for them to be able to save with written and illustrated instructions as well. So if you're a learner that likes learning like that, that's fine. If not, you can join in, all sorts of things. We will be making 2 projects, and we found that the better way of doing it is supplying everything already pre-cut out, obviously not pre-formed or anything like that. There's still work to do, but it makes it easier rather than rush you, and we prefer it that way. The workshop is on Saturday afternoon, February the 18th. It starts at 2 o'clock and will go on to around about 5 o'clock. But you can come and go as you wish. You don't have to be there all the time, but obviously it's lovely when people are. Booking opens at 6:30 today. Slight intervention. I have cut it all out. I'm now going to move on to my flower here, my pink flower. Oh, I can't pick it up. And just cut out the flower this time. So I'm just cutting out the flower. With the other one, I did give it a little bit of a bright up to the line. Okay. Yeah, so it goes live. Places are limited, but we have got quite a few places, so don't panic. Don't crash the website. Yeah. Workshop packs will be going out a couple of weeks before the class starts. For the people that live abroad, now I do have people that want to join in abroad, and there is very, well, I'm hoping it will soon get sorted. If you haven't had to post anything abroad just recently, you will maybe not be aware that the Post Royal Mail has had to suspend everything that's being sent abroad at the moment. So I do apologise for that. Well, apologise for that. It's not my fault, I know, but you know what I mean. It means that there is a slight possibility that that won't get sorted. It's not a strike. It's that they've had what they call a cyber incident. And so we are keeping everything crossed that that gets sorted. But until it does, I'm afraid I can't send anything by Royal Mail, which is a nuisance. Let's go back to this. I'll tell you more about the other bit in a minute. So I've cut out in green, the same colour green that I'm using for all the layers, with the whole thing. So you've got all the leaves and everything. And then I've cut out just the flower in the pink. And that, if I find it, is going to go on top. Now, you know what I'm like. I don't like flat. So I am just going to trim in to going along some of the lines. Not all of them, just some of them. I don't want to cut the whole thing off. But I'm just going into some of them, so to give a little bit of movement, and then just use my finger so that I can just curl that very slightly. I don't want it to be curling up. I just want to get a little bit of movement in there. And then I'm going to take my, she says, and can't see it right now, the Wink of Stella pen. What have I done with it then? Oh, lordy. He won't help, will he? Just at this moment in time. Oh, I want my clear one. Whoops. Oh my goodness me. Is this a clear one? Do you know, I don't think it is. It's a silver one. I don't want a silver one. Well, it was going so well, wasn't it? I don't want a silver one. And I can't see where the other one's gone to. Ah, oh, oblige. Well, never mind then. Never mind, because I don't want to put silver on it. It'll spoil it. Okay, so you could or you couldn't. Now, I'm going to put just a very small amount of foam onto there, but I am now going to get my foam out and go for it with all the other bits and pieces that we've got. So we're going to now pop this together, and there's just another couple of little bits. So when you're doing your framing, you just want to make sure, that, let's get this around the right way. You just want to make sure that you start off, well, I personally prefer to start off with an even number. So we want to say here, we started off with 11 by 11. We want to start off with something like that, not 11.5 or not 11.3, just because it makes it easy, really. I can't be doing with making life any harder than it already is. So that's what we're going for. So I'm going to put these layers together first. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I've decided I need to use all of the glue pots that I've got open at the moment. And that one's gone on the floor now. Might have gone to find the Wink of Stella. What do you reckon? No, it hasn't. But I've got it. I've retrieved it. And then turned it at the last minute. Stay where you are, thank you. Right, behave. Then I'm going to put my spotty dotty onto the top. And you may be thinking at this stage, wait a minute, that flower is much bigger than the square that she's just cut. And that was, believe it or not, done on purpose because I want it to hang over the edges. So I'm going to add my foam to here. Let's put some foam onto the back. And then I'm going to do exactly the same to my other 3 layers, adding them one on top of another and then adding foam onto the back. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there just for a second whilst I do this one. So yeah, the workshops, as I said, on the 18th of February, hoping I can get international post off very, very soon, because I do always send that one out earlier, because obviously with post it does take that much longer to get there. But the rest of the packs will be sent out approximately 2 weeks beforehand, so that you have got everything in plenty of time. Let's check I'm doing it the right way around. Any questions, just email me, but we will be using some brand new products. Oh, and any products that you'd like, you do get a discount. So you can use your discount on anything in the website. So that's good as well. So let's just put all this together. So really looking forward to that. And I've got my online class, which is completely full, on Saturday. So I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone then. That's going to be great as well. It's nice to get back to some sort of normality with these classes. Just doing it. So let's put all those layers on. I do go a bit mad with the foam, I know. I know. Sorry, I was just looking what you were saying. So I'm going to bring in my card blank, and as I said, it is a 7x7 or thereabouts. Top folding, and that one is going to go on first. Okay, so again, I've just picked out the colours that I used, not making a dark colour, just the pinks. So you can use any card that you like, any papers, you know. If you have got the double-sided papers, which has got coloured on the outside, just use those, because when you're doing all these layers, I mean, obviously you couldn't make a solid card out of the paper, you see what I mean? Couldn't use that as your card blank, but you can certainly use it as the layers. And when I'm using 3 pieces, it's not going to warp, it's as thick as card anyway. I'll just pop that onto that one. Then I'm going to bring this one in. Now, I wasn't going to do this. I mean, I don't think I am going to actually, but that could be the way that we do it. But I'm not. I'm going to do it that way, okay? But yeah, we could do it like that. And you could obviously cut these out with your nesting dies. I'm quite happy to cut them out using a paper trimmer. So pop that into the middle as far as we can. Then I'm very annoyed that I can't find my Winker Stella. What did I do with it? God. Is it hiding and I can't see it? Did I put it back and think, yes. I put it back because I didn't think I was going to use it, but I am. Okay, so Winker Stella. I'm just wanting to put a little touch of something. So the Winker Stella is just literally like putting a wink of glitter. I don't want so much glitter that it's glittering all over the place. I just want it so that there's a little hint. Now, if I can show the camera, I don't know if you can catch it. Don't think you can. Okay, after all that, I'll try and catch it when I take a photograph of it, but I'm just putting it on so that it just gives that little Winker Stella is like wink of stars, isn't it, Stella? Or our lovely Stella, it could be her. We like a bit of wink, don't we, Stella, eh? So I'm going to bring my card back in, check that I've got the top opening at the top. And as I said, I want my anemone to be over the edge like that. So you can see what I mean? I cut my square down to 11 by 11 because I wanted my image to go over the top. I'm just going to put some glue onto more or less the centre bit. I don't want my flower, my leaves, to be stuck down completely. Want them to have some movement. Now, I'm then going to take another one of these sentiments from here. So these are the Julie Hickey sentiments. We go that one. There's loads of different ones in there. And again, they're foilable. So with your laminator, you can use your wow foils and laminate it. But I don't want to do that. I just want to give it a little bit of a border. So I'm going to put a top of glue on it and just put it onto that scrap piece of pink. Do you remember I said I don't want to do anything with that? I'm just going to keep hold of that. So I've just pop it on there, give it a second or two just to dry off and grab. And I'm just going to go giving myself, and only roughly cutting round, a little border all the way round. Okay, so you can buy lots of sentiments that have these sort of mats and layers too. It doesn't mean to say you can't do it with the ones that you've already got. It might be that you've got a die that will cut out your sentiment, or a stamp that you can just cut out. I'll trim this up a little bit better in a second. But just leaving it a little bit of a border so that you can just see that there's a bit of pink. Not to leave quite as much as that. And I'm going to pop that into my side up there. So, of course, I'm going to put a bit of foam in there into the back. And as I said, I could have laminated it, and I'm going to be doing some more foil laminating because I've got some lovely bits and pieces to show you with that, but not today. So we're just going to put that there, and then grab some of my clear beads as well, and just put a couple of little extras onto there. So there you go. If you can't colour, don't look forward to colouring, don't even want to try colouring, please give it a go. But in the meantime, you've always got this option of just stamping your stamps onto a similar colour card that you're going to be using, and then you have got another equally lovely card. But I wish it showed. I've gone all that trouble of getting the wink of Stella, and then, oh, did you catch it there? It looks really very pretty. I like it anyway. So there you go. There is how I made that square card. As you can see, this one was done with colouring and the different background and everything. But equally, if you had brighter colours than that, it could look like that. But this one's just a very pastel sort of looking one, and that one's brighter. But you can see 7 by 7, 8 by 8. It really is irrelevant as to what you start off with, but you can make it look so pretty. So it's very nearly that time. Stella came good in the end. So, as I said, I know you'll be champing at the bit now for me to go. Please don't forget, I will be back on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock to do a live for you. That's the 22nd. And look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, pop over to the maximumcrafts.com website. You will find it under the workshop bits and pieces. And look forward to seeing you then. Any queries, get back to me. Have a great evening. And don't forget to pop over to the Crafting with John next door's Facebook page for his live at 7 o'clock as well. Okay, take care, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.